So hello everyone. Welcome to the new day and new vlog. What happened to your voice, Muntasir?
Nothing happened.
It's going good. And you must have seen yesterday's vlog and we talked about our ML exam preparation. And today we had our ML exam. The exam is over and we are just making this video after the exam, and we thought to discuss about our ML exam experience, share our insights regarding timings and how was it managed during the overall time, because the exam started after some time when it was scheduled to be. So Muntasir, first of all, again, what happened to your voice?
Nothing happened. Actually, my exam happened.
Yeah.
So I guess the exam was supposed to they mentioned that 3 to 6.
Yeah.
But it started quite late.
Yeah.
Like we entered around 3:30, and
Yeah.
then they give us 15 minutes
To read the exam
To
paper.
read the exam paper and ask any question, any
Yeah.
doubts we have
Yeah.
throughout the exam paper.
Yeah.
And there was separate exam paper and separate answer sheet.
This was also quite different.
That's
We had one sheet, so we had total 3 sheets. One sheet we had our question paper. Another sheet we had our answer paper. In the answer paper, for every question, there was a specific page, and it was written, you can use this page front and back. You can also use the 2 extra sheets which are at the back, and you can write something over that in the answer sheet. And if you want to do any rough work, there was one page which
One
was given.
scratch paper there where
Yeah.
you can do any rough work.
Yeah, and there was one exam paper, and we were asked to read the exam paper for the first 15 minutes to clarify any doubts. So if you have any doubts, there were different supervisors, or you can say TAs, who were there with whom you can call, and you can ask even the Billy, who is one of the supervisors, the queries regarding the exam questions. You can ask if you have any doubt. And after that, I think he discussed with the mic as well all the queries together.
All the queries together. He
Yeah.
discussed the queries. So people were raising hand, and
Yeah.
if they had any queries, they actually answered it laterwards.
Correct. So we had these 15 minutes, and after that we had to start our exam. How many marks does the exam have?
So the exam had total 100 marks, and the time is 150 minutes, so 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. And how many questions we had?
So we had
Almost
6 questions.
Almost six questions, I think, we had for the exam. And now talking about the ML exam, which is an 8 credit subject. How is the experience?
So I say the experience is good. I would say this is actually mostly theoretical. I don't see that many math. There were some 2-3 maths, I would say, but those are very basic calculations.
But there were things to prove.
There are things to prove. There are some proof. There are some theories.
Yeah.
There are some concepts. Like if you understand the concepts well, you have to prove. Okay, this is like this. Even though I'm saying this is a theory, it's not like that. Write the definition of this. Write the definition of that.
Yeah.
It's not like that. There are some direct questions, but
Yeah.
there are some questions which you have to prove. This is the concept.
Correct.
You know.
Correct.
And then based on this concept, this logic, how do you come up with this answer? You have
Yeah.
to justify your answers.
Correct. And now starting with the very first question that we had was regarding the MCQs. We had total 15 marks MCQs.
For the 15 marks, for the correct one we will get 1.5 marks. For the negative incorrect one we will get -1.
Yeah.
But the total number will not decrease to 0.
And if you don't attempt, then 0 marks. So there was a negative marking in the MCQ. So I think
this
then
is
one
also
has
quite
to-
uncommon.
This is quite different. And now regarding the other questions, so we had some, you can say topic-wise questions. You can say, like if we discuss the neural net question, we had one neural net graph.
There were some neural net question. There was one regarding kernels. There
Yeah.
was one regarding I guess regression, and there was one with SVM.
Yeah.
I
So,
guess so.
so I think it's good if we discuss them topic by topic. Like if to give an idea regarding the neural net question, so a neural net graph was given, and regarding that, some subset questions were asked.
Correct.
So maybe for that particular graph, write the loss function, right? Or maybe different things. Use the gradient descent to apply. How will you write the functions? How many parameters? How will you define? So that they also know that you understand neural nets and how you can implement that. It's like in the lectures we studied the general neural nets, but here a specific diagram was given, and for that we have to do. Coming to other question that we had, now I remember there were certain graphs of different models which was given, decision tree, SVMs.
That's true. There was a question about the decision tree.
Yeah.
That there are some models given, and
Yeah.
based on those we have to answer.
You have to
some
answer how many
questions.
misclassified, and how will you generate your own model, right?
That's true.
And you so it was, I would say, implementation based question as well. It was theoretical, but
It
it's
was
not
theoretical,
definite,
but
not completely
directly,
definition based.
Like you will memorize something and then
Yeah.
give it, not like that. You
Yeah.
have to understand the
Yeah.
thing, the question they are
Yeah.
asking, and then answer it.
Yeah, because when I also called one of the supervisors, Mayank, and he also, I think, clarified some of the questions like from Billy as well. So suppose there was some derivation you have to do, but you can follow any approach. You can either follow theoretical approach, mathematical approach. At the end, you have to prove.
You have to prove.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the this kind of term like prove your derivation, or
Yeah.
explain this one, or justify your statement.
Yeah.
So this kind of that. So you have to write something and they have to prove or justify that
Correct.
this is why I think this is correct.
Correct. And
So we haven't got the mark, but I think based on our justification, they will give us the mark.
but it totally depends on the evaluators. But the thing is, so we had certain graphs, we had questions related to that, like one of the questions. Another question, we had some direct question like state the objective functions
That's true.
for
There
certain
are
regression.
some questions for there are some questions that is like directly
Yeah.
that okay this is this and then
And
answer
maybe
under
tell the
this
difference
question.
between least square regression or maybe the ridge regression, and then maybe you can explain different things, and there was implementation based question as well of regression. You can say ridge regression, some tables were given and you have to identify which kind of or what pattern will it follow based on the value of C. So but you will see the paper once the paper gets uploaded, but it's just to give a general idea. Coming to another type of question that we encountered, like we said, there was a graph, certain subset of questions of neural nets. We also have one of the theoretical questions. Suppose a scenario or a case is given based on some animals, right? And
Based on there are some scenario like based on this scenario, what do you think? Like if this question is like this, you have this
which model
problem,
you
and
will
then
use?
How would you solve this problem?
Correct. And which model you will use and what will happen, like how will you generate maybe more data, how will you remove data. So related questions related to the classes, to the models, so that I think one can understand if you really understood the concept or not.
If you go through the materials, you understand the concepts, you then understand machine learning, and then you will be able to
Correct.
Give the exam.
Correct. Now, one of the important point as well, which is regarding the kernels. So this was asked for us during the exam as well, that you can use some theorems or properties of kernels that you learned, but you have to refer them. Since we had some questions related to whether prove that this is a kernel, prove that this is not a kernel, or maybe do some iterations and do some calculations. But I think there were many proof questions comparatively in kernels that we had to answer.
There are some questions, and for example, in exercise we have seen that, for example, summation of a kernel is a kernel, multiplication of a kernel is a kernel, this kind of theorem. So they said if you are using any theorem, just mention it before and then
just mention
that I based on theorem 1 or theorem 2 I am actually writing this line.
So you have to justify that. And also like we said, or like I said, that we have been asked that you can use your own explanation, but it has to be clear, I guess, so that they also understand like what you want to convey or what you want to say. But like he said as well, that it was a mixture, and we had some formula based questions, if you remember, for some filters and size related questions that we had to do the maths. Calculator was not allowed. This was also one of the important points.
Calculator is not allowed, but food and
drinks are allowed. You can get your food and drinks and can sit in the exam. Also, if you are facing some sunlight issues, if you are sitting in the sun, then you can change the seat. So I think this was regarding our experience. And now talking about Muntasir, one of the important point, which is you will see the paper, right? To get the questions, it will be uploaded in Kai. I have made a video about Kai. You can watch that as well. But Muntasir, talking about the exam experience, was the time enough?
I would say yes. If you have properly understood the concept, then you can answer it in a good time, because it's not like that you have shortage of time, you are not able to answer it. For me, it happened that I had enough time, because I divided it in each of the question the time accordingly, and from within that time I answered one question, and it was like this is based on my logic, I will write this way.
Correct.
It's not like I have to do a lot of calculation. As you said, the calculator was not allowed, so there was not much difficult calculation, so no time spent there. So I just have to write things. And also for each of the question, you have one side, one page on both sides. So it's not like that if any one you can write a lot of things. We have to 4 or 5 questions and only 2 pages. So I have to write it in a precise way. So that's why I think the time constraint is good.
And also you can use 2 extra sheets which were attached at the very last, but you have to refer that. I referred that because I used them for some of the stuff, and I would say for me the time was marginal, because till the end of the time we were updating some answers for which suppose we are not that sure, or suppose we are thinking what kind of theory we can write in this. Sometimes because while preparing we saw this thing that for some of the questions, even if it is a 5 marks question, maybe you can answer it in 2 lines or 3 lines, right?
That's true. So there was some confusion regarding that. I had the same confusion, like if this is a 5 mark question, but I can answer it in a 2 lines or 3 lines. So would that be enough?
The solution. But I think one of the experience regarding the organization of the exam started little maybe after the time, but the supervisor helped us during the exams. They were there to solve any queries regarding the question, not to tell you the answer, but to solve your questions if you have doubt, like what type of answer you can write, because I think Billy also mentioned for one of the questions that you can maybe explain this
and just don't write direct answers, but explain
Whatever you
something
do,
of
just
how,
explain
how
this.
do you come up with the answer, and then
Yeah,
will be good.
yeah. So I think the exam was good enough. The paper was quite different than the previous year paper because, as we also saw, there were theoretical as well as some mathematical questions, some mystery question. This time, I think specifically mystery was not written, but I think there is some mystery in the question.
That's true.
So, how would you summarize, Muntasir, your overall?
To summarize, I would say take a good preparation as
Yeah.
we did, understood the concept
Yeah.
given us, and I believe the result will come out within 1 week. So we will wait for that. Nothing to say there.
Yeah, so I think this is our own personal experience, right? Because preparation varies. We do not have our results yet, so we cannot, everyone's approach can be different. But the thing was, this was our second 8 credit exam. I think one of the mandatory sections which we have to give the exams, and our exam is finished now. And I think this is also one of the very last videos regarding the subject with our beloved friend Muntasir as well.
Yeah, that's true. So because we are almost near to end of our subjects,
Yeah.
we don't have many subjects remaining, so
Yeah.
it can happen that we are not studying together for the future subjects.
Yeah, because almost I think we are
Covered in our
covered, or
syllabus.
we have some
Yes.
different.
We have covered our credits.
Correct. And I think for some time Munsir won't be visible. Why so? So we will maybe talk about it, and what is going to happen. Stay tuned. You will get to know some new
Maybe
information
you make
as
a
well.
video about it.
I'll make a video about it, maybe, and can inform you guys about the approach. But that's why I think just this point to highlight that we thought that we'll cover some of the important topics that we feel. Since after this, I'm not sure if you're gonna have the subject related videos, because you can watch other videos as well. But now I think maybe whenever you do the thesis or something, then that will be a different approach. But I think through this vlog you got the idea regarding our ML exam experience, which is second 8 credit exam for us, and there were good number of people today as well. So thanking everyone, and thank you Muntasir as well for sharing your insights and experience. I'll end this vlog now. Rest, like, comment, share, subscribe. It doesn't take much time. Bye bye, ciao ciao, namaste. Chalo, see you in new day, new vlog. Also, you can go to different playlists and watch videos according to your interest. You can also go to RP2 Castle playlist. There the vlogs are in English. You can watch that as well whenever you get time, and stay tuned. There is an update. I'll tell you about it in upcoming videos. Bye bye.